Let's see what type of music we can make using Mario. Let's import Mario falling. Let's crop the file. Let's tune the sound. The tuned Mario sounds like this. Let's isolate the middle frequencies. Thank y'all for the continued support on this series. This is episode 137, and also thank y'all for almost 5,500 on YouTube. Let's pitch it down 3 octaves and add distortion plugin. Let's add a compressor and some reverb. Let's double it so there's 2 of them. And here's our stereo electric guitar. Let's see what type of music we can make using Minecraft. Let's import the grass block. Let's crop the sound. Let's isolate the middle frequencies for a more duller sound. Thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers on YouTube and for the continued support in this series as per usual. I honestly thought you guys would get tired at this point, but 135 episodes in and y'all still love it, so I'm gonna try and keep going. Let's import the sample into our drum machine, turn down the length and pitch it down. Let's import the sound again. Here's our snare. Import it again, pitch it up, turn down the length. Here's our hi-hat. Let's add a compressor and an EQ. Add some reverb, and here's our jazz kit.
Let's see what type of music we can make using Pickleball.
Let's import the Pickleball serve. Let's cut the clips. Let's add a multi-band compressor to get rid of that wind. Let's add some gates. The ball hitting the ground is going to sound like this. And the ball hitting the paddle is going to sound like this. Let's grab our drum machine and import our samples. Let's pitch down the paddle sound and turn down the length. Here's our kick. Let's pitch the paddle sound down again, but not as far this time. Let's pitch our other sound down. This will act as a ride. Let's pitch that second sound up. Here's our hi-hat. Let's add a compressor and some reverb, and here's our kit.
Let's see what type of music we can make using the Wii.
Pitched it down 2 octaves to where we got this sound. Now here's our bass. Let's see what type of music we can make using Terraria. Let's import the Terraria death sound. Let's crop the file. Let's add a compressor to make it sound more percussive. Let's add a gate. It's crazy to me that this is still y'all's favorite series, even after 138 episodes. Let's pitch it down and turn down the length. Here's our first sound. Repeat the process, except let's not pitch it down quite as far. Here's our snare. Repeat the process again, except this time we're pitching it up. Here's our hi-hat. Let's add some reverb, and here's our drum kit. Let's see what type of music we can make using Clash Royale. Let's import the Hog Rider sound. Let's tune the sound. Let's crop the file so we're just left with the high E. Let's cut off the high end. I'm going to try and go for a bass sound here. Thank y'all for 5,300 subscribers on YouTube and climbing back up to 30K on Instagram as well. Let's set the root key to E and pitch it down 3 octaves. Let's add a bass amp and a compressor. I kind of wish this sounded plucked. Let me try something. Let's crop it a lot more. Let's change the compressor settings, add a limiter to bring back some of the volume that was lost by the compressor. Let's add a second compressor with the same settings. Now we have a slap bass.
Let's see what type of music we can make using popcorn.
Let's import the popcorn. Cut the file so we're left with just 2 pops. Thankfully, these sounds already have really good percussive properties, so I won't have to do a lot of adjusting here. Let's cut off the high end. First sound sounds like this. Isolate the middle frequencies for the second sound. Thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel and 3,500 on TikTok. Let's pitch down the kick and shorten it. Let's pitch up the snare and turn down the length. Now let's take the hi-hat track, turn down the length and pitch it up. Let's add a compressor and some reverb, and here's our drum kit.
Let's see what type of music we can make using Mega Man.
Let's import the blaster sound. Let's crop the file and cut it in half so we have two different sounds. Let's crop the first sound. Let's add a compressor to make the sound more percussive and an EQ to emphasize the low end. I'm going to leave the second sound the way it is. Even though I'm doing the same thing every time, this is still y'all's favorite series by a landslide, so thank you guys for the continued support. Let's pitch down the first sound. Import that sound again, pitch it up, and make it shorter. Repeat the process for the second sound. Since this is an 808, we're going to pump up the bass. I feel like I've said that before. Let's add a compressor, and here's our 808. Let's see what type of music we can make using Crash Bandicoot. Whoa! Hitting a high E flat. Whoa! That sounded so bad and breathy, but y'all get the idea. Now that the sound has been tuned and stretched, here's what the new Crash Bandicoot sounds like. Run it through a bass amp plug-in here. Let's add a compressor to this as well. Add some reverb, and here's our bass.